All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
RWBY Volume 7,
Chapter 3. Okay, yeah, we've got a good chapter ahead of us here. We've got a lot of things brewing in Atlas.
Yep.
We've got Watts and Tyrion on the move. And we've got our crew,
with a plan.
Well, not only with a plan, but we're with new allies. We've got Penny back. We've got these Aesops. We've got Ironwood being very congenial.
Yep.
And
Winter and all of them.
There is a little bit of a slight hiccup with RWBY withholding Ozpin related information.
Right.
But we'll just have to wait and see what the overall kind of scope of that is, because in some ways it actually might be a little bit useful to have some cards on the table. We'll see.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if she ended up realizing, okay, clarifying later or something, because she's like, all right, I can trust you now fully.
Or like at what point, she can trickle back the information.
Right.
Like to just keep things under a level amount of control. Otherwise, I do think, though, Ironwood would kind of be like, all right, Oscar, you're staying here now,
well, yeah,
regardless of what you want.
We still need the training that we saw in the OP.
That's true. That's true.
And that's going to be awesome.
That's going to be cool. And also the outfit changes and stuff like that. All the styles and stuff like that. And that could be pretty legit. I wanted to clarify from the previous episode, I must have been asleep at like a serious level during that reaction because I missed some serious stuff. I put it in the comments and the description of that video. But I completely missed what Ironwood's original plan was, so now I'm aware of what's going on. I'm also now aware of some things that I was missing regarding what Watts
I was missing stuff
what is public information regarding Watts. And when I mean public, I mean, us as the audience.
Right.
One, Raven was able to spot him as a disgraced Atlesian scientist,
which is important.
In Volume 5. So that is important, meaning that if Watts was seen on the cameras, he could be immediately sent for arrest, really quickly. So hence his scrutiny with, being, able to, having to be careful here. And my original thought was that he was on the inside of Atlas, kind of.
Right.
And now we know, no,
he very much is not.
No, that was revealed in Volume 5. He's definitely not.
Yeah.
In fact, Pietro Polendina, who is potentially connected and in the know with certain things, they're also potentially on the thought that it is someone on the inside, or someone with a very least certain knowledge of how things work on the inside.
Right.
So it might actually lend some interesting thoughts as to why they didn't update things in Mantle. Almost like they're setting up Mantle to be the sacrifice of the battleground for not only the Grimm but any kind of interference. So it's like, hey, Watts, they could be trying to set you up for a trap. We don't know.
Could be, and that would be awesome. One of the other things that I didn't think of, I thought of it as soon as the previous episode was over, is that one of the other things they can bring in as a point of moral conflict is that if Atlas does go and help protect other countries from the Grimm, at what point does that stop? Because that's still, even though Grimm, that's a serious threat.
Sure.
It's still a whole bunch of military forces going in and probably saying, okay, this is how things are going to be done here.
Yeah, it's Volume 2.
Right, exactly.
The world, basically.
Yep. So
that'll be a thing.
Yeah.
So, y'all, Chapter 3. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, everyone, we're going to be starting the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Okay. I really love the updated outfit specifically for Yang and Weiss, but the one that I'm actually the most interested how much different they're actually going to go in on it is RWBY's.
Oh yeah,
because every time I look at RWBY's new kind of look, I realize that there's more very key subtle differences. But one of the big ones is actually the hair is surprisingly different.
Really?
You go and look really closely at it, there's a lot that's...
Oh, because, Blake just gets a straight-up haircut.
Yeah. Whereas RWBY's, it cuts off a lot of the sides. So it's a lot more on the top. So when she's moving really fast, if anything, it's going to be like, you know, way more dramatic of movement. That is another thing.
Yeah.
Someone being dumb enough to throw a rock at a hologram, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But on another point, when they throw the rock at the hologram, so you can kind of see how it's a little bit different, right?
Yep.
It's more bangs than anything else. But
shorter in the back.
You see Weiss's dad kind of in the silhouette after Ironwood kind of vanishes. So almost like citizens overturn Ironwood. Oh, nice. Here we go. Okay. Hey! Nice. Aha!
Okay.
So he's going to be the one doing that. Oh.
All right. Cool. Good old-fashioned dungeon crawl.
Nice. So an ice golem.
Oh.
Oh. Okay. Sweet.
Cool.
So come at it from both ends, basically. Nice. The people getting the haircuts are like, it is a little long. Yeah. Let's talk real quick. And we already know what they're going to talk about, essentially, so. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
And Yang with the shades.
Yep.
Landing strategy. Let's go.
It's been too long since we've seen them do this kind of stuff.
Yep. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Best go right there. Oh, nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
That's legit. Yeah.
Okay.
And she's just gonna... I thought she was gonna, like, impact, you know?
Yeah. Crater into the ground with a 3-point landing.
Okay, we can see their weapons. All right. Yeah. Okay, and the rest are going to the other side. Gotcha.
The visuals really are just so good.
Yep. All right, so Juniper's going...
Except that visual.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. Maybe... Oh! All right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I dig it, John. All right.
That'll have to take some getting used to.
Okay. Nice. Oh, cool.
Nice.
Ha. I am Pouty Dog, and I must pout.
Yeah. Now, maybe this is just me, and it feels weird saying this, but it looks like they made Blake's bust bigger.
It's probably the outfit. And they are growing up.
This is true.
Yeah. Yeah. Ha! Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
Good.
That's
Bringing that up.
Yeah.
Bringing that up.
Yep.
Oh!
Bringing this up. I thought that was going to be him that slipped.
Yeah. Misfortune.
Mm-hmm.
This is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Oh! Ren!
Whoa!
Come on! Oh my god, so awkward. Okay. Oh, Blake, yeah. Yeah. Ilya's parents, yeah. Yep. Wow. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that was wow. very pointed and
pointed, meta, nice. And funny. And yeah.
Oh yeah, such a small opening,
making them feel useful.
Yeah. Or you
can just... Nice. Oh, cybernetics, let's go.
All right.
So we found the Geist. Here we go. Oh, right from the trailer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ew.
Look at these things.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
No. That's like some divinity, like, void-woken
stuff.
Yeah.
Or the tunnelers from Dune. Is that from Dune, or is that,
I don't know, I didn't watch that movie.
I made the book, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Dungeon crawling, limited space, monsters with actually tough amount of hit points.
Oh!
Ooh! Delayed incendiary explosives. Oh, yeah!
Okay.
More mobility with the scythe.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, what can you do, buddy? Oh, it's a saw.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a chainsaw that can be thrown and... Okay.
What?
Whoa. No way.
What? What did he just do?
No way. That's...
At lowest, it's hold monster. At highest, he's got a localized, stop time thing.
That's ridiculously good.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Okay.
Some kind of aura projected extensions. Oh. Okay. All right. Oh my god, this combat is so legit.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh.
She looks at Ren like, notice?
Kind of our style.
I will say, though, the hair does suit Jean's disaster style.
Whoa! Oh. Nice. Lightning kind of energy speed.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, what do you got? Oh, a fishing line!
He's got a fishing hook?
This is some gun! Yep, here we go. So now it animates the golem.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's feeling basically cornered.
Right.
But it's
visuals are good.
Yeah, all this stuff moving.
Oh, exposed dust. Oh, it's got dust in its body now.
Oh. Yeah. Crap. Oh. Oh, it was using that to collapse the...
Mm.
Dang.
Wait.
Nice. Oh. Wait, what? Wait, what?
Wait. Okay.
Oh!
Now, so here's the thing. There's design choices and there's intentionally setting up the shippers.
Hey, you know what? Crow has had a pretty messed up life. Like,
this is true.
And,
oh, wait. Oh. It's hot in here?
Well, the dust may be hot.
Oh, it is, yeah.
There it is.
Oh, snap.
Yep. Oh, boss battle room. Here we go. Let's do this.
Yeah.
We got our support character with his CC and...
Yep. Tentacle powers, basically.
Yep, tentacle powers, yep. Nice! Whoa! So now we're seeing abilities being used in tandem.
Yeah. I love that this is basically like, it reminds me of the Volume 1 fights, you know, where it's just, okay, yeah, big creature, very well, like, designed as far as visuals and everything, and people working in conjunction with each other.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Awesome. Wow. So then they can actually tear it apart.
Right.
Without actually having the whole place explode. And super speed. Oh, nice. Good fortune. Wow. Hey, Crow, maybe you should hang back a bit. All right, some casual flirting, you know, no big deal. I
gotta say, though, good luck as a semblance. That is...
Oh yeah,
so ridiculously
lucky,
busted.
Yeah. But so is misfortune in a way as well.
Sure.
Oh, it's a clover. I get it. Yeah.
No way.
I mean, if he's lucky, he's lucky.
Yeah.
Oh my god, just...
Wow. Wow.
This is what a team of 5 pro huntsmen kind of skill can do.
Uh-huh.
Let me guess. They missed one and then RWBY gets it here. Jeez!
That just looks so cool.
RWBY got it. RWBY got it.
Yeah. But like, the visuals. Wow.
Yeah. Nice, good. Yeah.
That's great.
That's awesome.
They're
doing all these little fun things in the background now.
Yeah.
It's so good.
This guy.
Dead. You're in a horror movie now.
Take us to your leader. Yep. Yeah, of course it's Tyrion. His eyes just changed color.
Well, yeah, that's when he's gonna use his semblance. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we have our dungeon crawl. We had amazing team combat.
Yes, that was fantastic.
With incredible choreography.
Fantastic.
All right, we've got all the names there, I think, of the Aesops. Awesome.
That seems like the kind of thing that there's no way they could keep this level of visual quality up throughout the rest of the season.
Oh,
right?
shut up. Yes, they could. Yes, they could.
I mean, if they do, awesome.
Yeah, of course,
but,
Jacob.
This was so good.
It's 2019. Do you know how many people work on RWBY?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot of people. Look at all these people.
Yeah.
Look at all these people. Most of those were animators.
Wow.
Oh my God, what an episode. All right, that's RWBY Volume 7, Chapter 3, and we got some serious visuals.
Really good.
Oh
really
my God,
good.
Yeah. We get to see the full teams of RWBY and Juniper having, a throwdown with some Grimm, but even better, we get to see these Aesops getting the full kind of introduction as to RWBY style, what they are, who they are, what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
And what they can do together. Everything about this show has always been based around teams, having strength. Even the villains are in little teams, sometimes.
This is true.
But I think it's been a while since we've seen non-RWBY Juniper teams being showcased in combat in a cool way in a long time. So just major props out the gate for that.
This really did feel like back in Volume 1 with the Deathstalker and the Nevermore, but just with the budget and the visuals,
the effort put in of a bunch of people, a lot of people working on this.
It is pretty mind-blowing because I feel like even when they had fights that were kind of similar to this before in previous volumes, it was something where either there were parts of the visuals that didn't quite fit, it was still they were still finding their groove and stuff, usually with the choreography, right? But then also because of the whole choreography thing and all that, the fighting didn't feel like the people were fighting together. Right, it felt like they were all doing their separate things at the same time, right?
Yep.
Whereas in this, they were definitely working together. And because it's that idea of synergy between the characters and that they understand each other and how to best make the other person be able to do an awesome.
Right.
I love it.
And it was enjoyable. It was something that we got to showcase what Team RWBY and Juniper's new upgrades. Basically are and what they could do. There were tons of really cool little things that were kind of shown in there just for kind of the fun of it. But hey, if you're going to foreshadow and set up kind of future encounters and how the teams will work and do things together, let's have a little side mission that is tied into the main plot. Because this is a part of Ironwood's plan and everything to get things moving. They have step-by-step process with this. Yeah, let's have them go and do a dungeon crawl with the special operatives that we just were introduced to in the previous episode.
And one other thing that I would say about this, I would say this kind of a thing, they needed to have something like this. Yeah. Not just for the purpose of introducing easily the Aesops and what they can do and the new upgrades to Team RWBY and Team,
Junior.
Yeah.
Ranger.
Right. But also because since they're establishing Atlas as the second beacon, we need to have some slice of life. We need to have some just sort
I see
of
what you're saying.
daily, they go on adventures. It's not the fate of the world.
Yep.
You know, they're just having fun. And, you know, like we're real huntresses, right?
Yeah.
You know, like that's something that is very important, like in and of itself. So I'm, I love this episode. I'm very glad that they decided to have this in here.
Yeah, I feel like this is very Volume 2. They're taking some of the things that I think was what made Volume 2 one of my favorite volumes and bringing that into here, which is, all right, let's get introduced to Team Coffee, but better. No offense to Team Coffee, but this is basically what Team Coffee was always meant to be,
right?
But actually more, showcased in a synergistic way, because Team Coffee was more like, hey, you do a thing solo, you do a thing solo. Now we've got 5, which is one more than 4, by the way, and then you get to see them all working together. It's just
and most importantly, good. I would say it's something where, in the case of Coffee, it felt more like hey, here's a sort of rule of cool moment because maybe, just in case you didn't like the whole bit with the train or whatever, right?
Oh, gotcha.
But the thing is that it didn't have any purpose in the greater story. It's just, okay, we're introducing these really cool badass characters, right? And it was awesome. I love that whole scene. It's great, right? But the thing is that with the Aesops, we're making an investment into the future of the show. Now, the Aesops might only be around for a volume or 2 before they tragically die, and oh no, right?
But Levi Squad, no. I'm just saying, they definitely have that vibe of we are professionals at what we do, and we are also invested enough into them to make you care when they're not around.
Right, and the fact that they're basically at the very beginning, right? They're taking the time to establish these characters so that we can actually feel like we know them as people, and how they interact with the rest of the cast. That's good.
Which is why they split them up and had them each give little interactions with all of them here.
Oh, yeah.
It's cool. We can tell that they were trying to make sure that they ticked off the boxes, so to speak, of letting them each have something to say that gave a little bit of their personality.
Something to say, something cool to do,
Yeah. And it felt like they were effortlessly moving through that formula. I don't think formulaic in that response is a negative. I think in this case, because of how effortless it felt for things to move along pacing-wise, I was just enthralled with the episode, and it felt like it ended way too soon. I was like, what? Oh, yeah. What the heck? It's over already?
That was just a blast, and then it's like, okay. Right? Like,
so good.
I feel like this is like if you have like a cook that's managing a bunch of different pans of stuff, right?
Sure.
And they're all cooking. You don't want to make sure that anything burns, right? You don't want to basically, burn out the audience by focusing too much on one thing, in case that's maybe not what they're interested in, right?
Sure.
And you have all these things that you need to manage. So you just do a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and it's kind of manic, right? Like I can imagine that this would be very tough on the writing team to fit all this stuff in, because there's so much that they need to think about, right? So many different pieces. Like even the whole thing of Nora, being like, I like the outfit, Ren, and then nothing. And it's like, oh, okay.
Well, I think if we looked at Ren a little bit closer, what I saw in his eyes was a little bit of a, oh,
really?
Yeah. I think what might have happened in Ren's mind is like, hey, wait, what does she mean? I don't know. We got to keep the mission. Yeah.
Right.
So I think if anything, he had Nora, there's people around. Like we talked about that.
John's not people.
That was a good impression. That was pretty good. But yeah, like he's not distant or cold or something like that.
Right.
He's just like, his mind's not thinking about that.
Yeah, but it's basically touching base with that element because
it's a little throwaway line that actually means something.
Exactly, right. Because as great as it is to see Nora just like freaking out about, we're gonna get new weapons or something, or generally being like positive and stuff.
Yeah.
It's touching back on that whole development with the two of them that we had in Volume 4, right? Yeah. We're just sort of touching base with that, right? We haven't forgotten. So it's and that.
Yeah, it is very easy.
Very much appreciated.
It's very easy, I found, because I suck at writing dialogue personally. I cannot write dialogue. It's so hard to see people give every person echoes a thing in a given scene. But you don't have to have everyone speaking in a given scene if it doesn't make sense for their character to say something here.
Yeah.
You don't need to have anime does this a lot. You just see the as expected of so and so, just random stuff thrown in there to echo and remind them, hey, that person is there. They're not just a static 2D image.
Yeah.
In this case, there were a lot of times where you'd see characters talking and another character's in the background emoting in a reaction to the, oh, right, this dust mine. This is Ilya's parents' like place where they died.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, that's a thing.
And good catching that, because I had like the thought entered my head like, oh yeah.
Well, Blake reacted so quickly to what was going on. I was like, oh right,
yeah,
yep, that's yeah.
And then also the other things like they defeat the Geist, right? And then Crow and what's his name, Clover. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Crow and Clover are talking and stuff, and then everyone's kind of dancing in the background. And, And then the strong one, I'm guessing that's Elm.
That's Elm.
Is like carrying Ruby
on her shoulder, and they're all like dancing and stuff.
Like that kind of stuff.
Adorable. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I think that this is an example, though, of what they can do this volume. I don't think this is you were saying, the top of the line. This is just a broad range in the middle, actually. I think they could actually go further because what you could do with this is you take kind of this level, I would say, on the group size scale boss fight thing, but you bring it down actually a little bit to the 1v1 fights that they'll kind of alternate between, like they did in Volume 5.
Sure.
Well, or what they've teased in the OP, which is a 2v1 fight between Crow, Tyrion, and New Girl, who's like an underground resistance movement. I think
get the feeling she's the leader.
Well, no, I think we've actually heard her name before. Yeah, that was what
the guy in the
what was his name? Yeah.
Right, but he was talking. Right, he was talking about her. That's probably her.
Yeah, that she was an Atlas Academy graduate, but then decided to not go into the military.
One of the things that I'm kind of curious about, though, is that if you look at the cast they have here, now they handled their giant cast perfectly here, right?
Yeah, if anything, at the end of the boss fight, you need to have Ruby and Juniper do anything really, because hey, stand back. The specialists have got this.
Yeah, but but from a standpoint of fights, right, with the villains, when I look at the number of named characters that we have in this episode for our protagonists, right, for the good guys, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and then when I look at like the number of bad guys in Atlas, it's like, all right, we got Tyrion, we got Watts, and Cinder and Neo are
on their way. Yeah.
So,
well, okay. We can pull back a little bit from the violence side of things and actually go into people that will be antagonistic. We have Schnee,
yes, and Little Shitley. This is true.
Shitley, yeah.
This is true.
Papa Schnee.
And granted, since they're going to be starting a contained Grim apocalypse, we can have a bunch of them just be fighting Grim and not need to.
I would expect that.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, but we can double team and triple team named villains essentially.
For sure.
Yeah.
But when I think about the named villains, double and triple team, sure.
Right.
But you can't octuple team
No, you could though. That would be really cool.
That would be really hard to do though.
No, think about this. You don't have it octuple on one. You have it 12 versus 2 or 3. So it's a thing of where it's like, okay, if Cinder and Neo end up exposing themselves, wouldn't it be cool to see Cinder basically be like, I am a goddess maiden. What are you all going to do to me? And it's like, we have action economy, bitch. And then they just
and that's the thing, because in action movies, like I don't know, Kill Bill, for instance, right?
Yes, great example.
Right?
Yeah.
You have her going and storming the place, and there's all these people. But if you look at what she's doing, she's only ever interacting with 2, maybe 3 people at a time.
Yeah.
And then they'll all be kind of like,
stuff.
do we go in? Do we fight? Whatever, right?
Right.
And that works because they're nameless characters, right? But now this is animated, so they can do all kinds of things, and there's magic powers where they can,
There's magic powers. There's also Grim, where you could basically have it be a thing where all you need is Cinder to basically be like, all right, I'm here, and I made contact not only with the characters there, but maybe Salem's send some, Grim with her or what have you. And there's a part where Cinder like literally commands them with her Grim appendage or what have you to go and do something. And then it's a thing of where it's a boss fight with ads, like MMO style.
Yeah, right. And that's right. And that's the kind of thing where it's like, because otherwise how do you address the action economy? Now, granted, with the visuals that they did this episode, they showed that they were able to flawlessly handle a ridiculous number of people in a combat environment and not have it be static, right? Not have it be the Knuckle where it's just standing in one place and everyone's circling around it, right?
Yeah.
Like so awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I still just I guess I won't be able to know until I see it what that would look like with this many characters.
Yeah, I don't think, in general, they're actually going to show that many characters at a time. You don't have to.
Right, probably not.
Because that's not even what they did here. We only probably saw 4 characters moving on screen at the same time once. In terms of the actual combat. And that probably is closer to 3. So if anything, you just cut between them, and you just keep things consistent with regards to the locations and all that, so we don't have
kind of like the Volume 5 fight.
Well, kind of how it did not go in the Volume 5 fight. The Volume 5 fight in the finale with the big open atrium area there was an example of how not to do that.
Right, because
I'm not worried about that here, given what we saw in this part.
Right, have more convincing reasons for the division of the fights, but still having the splitting up of different fights.
But I'm also talking about consistency, about them actually being where they're supposed to be in the fight.
Right, yes.
And not having dumb things like how Weiss fought against the Not Maiden. Anyways. Story here. We've got an interesting question. RWBY, you're doing this. And the rest of the team is actually on board with you.
Yeah.
And this is the thing I like about this, is that they're looking at it from the angle of, wait, we're going to support her decision. She is the team leader.
And we get why you did this.
We get why you did this, but let's process it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I loved what does Oscar think about this? Because you kind of made the choice for him.
Yeah.
Like, that should be, a group decision, but it also should accept his input.
Right.
And Oscar's not okay with this. He gave the, hey, like the kind of the passive response of like, hey, RWBY.
I don't like confrontation, but like...
Well, like, isn't this what Ozpin did to us? Like, that's a great question.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great question.
Yep.
And I would say, yeah, it kind of is. Like, and
definitely.
That's where they're going to see things from Ozpin's perspective a little bit. Is they'll go, oh, I get it now. Ozpin, you're one person.
Right.
You can't control people, but you can direct them via what they know.
Right.
So
you got to kind of play a bit of chess.
Right. You definitely have to. Yes.
But
exactly.
But you need to remember that these pieces are people.
These pieces are people.
Yeah.
And you need to value them as such.
Right.
Not in just how strong their piece is.
Right.
And we have seen moments in the past where Ozpin is
cold because he's
distant because I think he's realizing that he needs to treat them like chess pieces in order to make sure that things go the way he needs them to.
Because he probably tried many times with them as people, and which gets it harder to treat them as people because he's done this so many times. But it's also probably less effective.
Yeah, we know. Yeah. We know based on 6-3 that there was or I think it might have been actually 6-4, the episode after the huge flashback, where the combination of the two, where people realizing, oh, you think that those people were the first, that think that people like Leo were the first to betray him, basically to get tired of Oh boy. It's a really interesting thing to have this kind of one for all avatar lineage kind of repeating cycle of things for Ozpin. But then since you realize that all the memories are actually, I would say, perfectly maintained, so it's not a thing where he has to consult his past lives avatar style, that Ozpin's tired.
Oh yeah.
Ozpin's a really, really messed up person, probably internally. Not in terms of that he's an evil person, but he's probably pretty broken inside in a lot of ways.
Definitely, yeah.
And given that he hasn't shown up yet, I think that we're due in about 2 episodes with him kind of talking to Oscar and being like, Yeah. Yeah. You see that thing Ironwood did there? See that little bit of inconsistency there? That's something that is the reason why I don't like share all this stuff here. So maybe RWBY was right. Yeah.
Who knows? But the big important thing this episode is that apparently we've got the maiden voyage of a new ship. Because
yes,
like
yes we do.
You don't just set something like this up so pointedly without like basically like putting off fireworks and firing the cannon and stuff as this ship sets sail to the great seas.
Yeah, the cannon was definitely fired. The point I'm still trying to make though was that I don't really count this as a canon like ship yet because Crow has not reciprocated.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
He is being flirted with, and he is probably feeling flattered, much like the waitress, in Volume 4. I went ahead and gave you top. Lucky you. And he gave the whole, like, all right, my semblance is good fortune. Lucky you. And it's right. Oh, wow, yeah.
Well, and
smooth, buddy.
Well, and let's be real here. Crow is also someone that's very tired, right? So having someone around where he doesn't have to worry about himself anymore, that has got to be a huge feeling of just respite and just, okay, all right, maybe I can actually stick around and it's going to be okay.
And what's also cool is that while we definitely knew that Crow's semblance was more passive, I don't know if we've ever actually seen or heard him say that he actively tries to suppress it and it works.
Right.
What we've heard him say is that it just causes misfortune around him. And I think that little bit of clarification in this episode is huge because what it means is that he can consciously make an effort to mitigate it, but it sometimes still breaks out of his control. So what I see as an example of that is that it's like a muscle. He can basically hold in like a specific feeling or what have you, and he's like, I'm flexing, I'm holding it tight, but every once in a while I let it go a little bit. If he has someone else out there that is actively trying to push it out, like giving good fortune, like he's actively using it in that respect, and it is passive, meaning that it's not going to ruin his aura or anything else like that. This guy is like a perfect leader.
Oh yeah.
And it should be stronger in a lot of ways than Crow's semblance. Like in terms of it
potentially
not just overriding Crow's semblance in a lot of areas, but actually giving a stronger thing there, because he wouldn't be actively trying to suppress it. Whereas Crow is constantly trying to do that.
Sure. One of the things though that is and it could be that he's so he could be trying to suppress it and he can do that with some modicum of success.
Right.
He's trying to suppress it and it doesn't actually help,
right?
But he doesn't know whether it's happening or not. So who knows, right?
Yeah.
And then he doesn't have any way to control it, and he's not trying to control his semblance, but he's trying to control his environment and how he interacts with his environment, so that his semblance will trigger in the least damaging ways possible.
Yep.
So for instance,
being alone,
yep. or not walking on icy areas where people could slip and break their neck or something,
right.
Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if it's that one, then that says a lot about basically Crow's psyche, because that is an anxiety-ridden mess.
Oh yeah.
Where it's because you can't do that, right?
Yeah.
But he feels like he has to.
Yeah.
He has to try, right?
And I want to bring up actually something that could be kind of cool here. They bring up with regards to Crows. We've seen him flirt with ladies, and if now he's receiving stuff from a guy as well, and he's like, oh, I kind of like this. We have probably our first bi character in the show as well. I mean, unless Yang potentially is as well. But I think what's cool about that is if you think about Crow as being someone who's anxiety ridden, someone who has constantly suppressed himself in a lot of ways. He's just looking for companionship.
Oh yeah.
He's just looking for someone he can trust in like his team, but won't fail him like his team. Because if we think about what his team was, is we had the champion, we had Summer Rose, and she's just the savior, basically, probably.
Right.
Like she was probably the gung-ho one to do all the things and what have you. Great. He has his sister, who maybe is a little bit more of the suspicious type, and while maybe he connected in a lot of ways with her
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah, they got along. They got along well
probably
before things fell apart. Yeah,
right. She was, though, apparently the reason why things kind of fell apart, though. Which means that Tai Yang, in some ways, chose kind of to abandon Crow in that regard because of the efforts of Raven, rather than sticking with his. So I feel like Crow is that last holdout character.
Maybe
he believed in the team longer than anyone else. Is what I'm bringing up. Like, it's something that I think I've theorized in the past, was that if you imagined them all leaving, Crow was the one that never left. That's why he still works with Ozpin.
Sure.
Directly, like, constantly there.
Yeah.
And while he might be doing it as, like, an atonement, I want to make things better, I would see that as a character that would desperately want to have his team back, but knows he can never have it.
Right.
So when he's presented with the opportunity of someone being like, hey, partner, hey, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, don't push back, don't do anything, just process. How do I do? I don't know what to do. Okay.
And it'll be interesting to see how they go into that, because with Crow, I feel like it's something where he very much believes in his team, but it's also that he doesn't believe in himself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Which is understandable.
So he projects that out and doesn't believe in others.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Right. And so if he's ever put into a situation where suddenly he doesn't have to worry about that, right? Mm-hmm. His problems, shall we say, the stuff that he brings to to the table, his bad luck charm, is not causing, a bunch of craziness to negatively affect the people around him. We might get to see a whole new side of Crow. Yeah. Like a whole new side of him, which I'm excited to see.
Yeah. And if he's still being built up as a main character in the grand scheme of things, then that means that, he's still on the potential chopping block.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be looking at more so how we kind of build the overall larger cast of protagonists, because we are pretty much confirmed, I believe, at this point, that the Atlas arc will last more than this volume. At least I believe that was confirmed through stuff at RTX. And
right. I would be surprised if it only lasted this long. I would be very surprised.
I think it's more the question of whether or not it's going to last 2 or 3 volumes, actually.
Right, yeah. Because there's no way they're going to end it in one volume. Like, they're doing too much build-up, and it's a build-up that I love, because that's how they can get us back to the feeling of this is Beacon.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
This felt very side mission-y, but it was tied into the main plot.
Yep.
We have our characters prepped and ready to go for whatever comes next. There was, a lot of ways in which this mission could have gone wrong, but in a lot of ways we got to see how they, just worked together and complemented each other.
And I will say, Jean's hair does look better when he's actually fighting.
Yes.
Like
right?
in the episode versus in the OP, the hair did look a lot better, like when he was in motion and things like that.
Yeah, I agree. And when it's static, it does look a little bit like, jarring.
Yeah.
But what I do like about it is that when they showed him looking at his bangs and realizing they were like down to here, it's that thing of practicality as well.
Sure.
He wants to be a responsible leader, so he goes, I should, I should take things a little bit more seriously.
Well, and also I wouldn't be surprised if it was something, if in a way, especially since Jean has been the princess in distress more than like any other character in RWBY.
Sure. I mean, that's been gone for a while.
No, that's been, right, exactly. Right. That's been gone for a while.
Oh,
so he cuts his hair
because he's no longer
he's moving on.
That reflects nothing of who he is right now.
Exactly.
That's a great point.
And that's why I love that they had him. That they had him with the scrap of Pierre's cloth, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes and touches the hair, because it's I'm a different person now.
I'm a different person now, and I'm able to move on.
Right.
There's a positive aspect of this if you think about it from like a professional standpoint. If you have someone that finally realizes they're going to be put into a job situation where they need to look like presentable and stuff like that, cutting the hair and getting that kind of professional cut is an example of like, I'm taking myself seriously.
I don't know if I would call
it
a professional cut, but
I would say it actually is. There's nothing about it that looks excessive.
Yeah.
And I would say, if anything, that's an example of where Ren has, kind of his own constant issues, whereas he's never gonna cut his hair in that regard, because not only is it not his way, but also
who would cut their hair when they have hair like Ren? So
right, but Ren doesn't have to be put into that front position of leadership.
Yes, that is true.
It's something where he can be in the background supporting them. Which, by the way, everyone's weapon upgrades were awesome.
Yep.
We got to see some really cool things there. We got to see also a speed semblance person talk to RWBY about how her semblance isn't speed.
Not just speed.
And I've been saying this forever now. It's like y'all, it's okay to not have all the powers be defined. It's cooler that way, because then we get to go and just take the visual cues and run with it.
Yep. And it also builds up the whole idea of like some of the things that we've seen RWBY do in some of the earliest volumes, and it's like, okay, yes, speed. Sure.
She is fast when doing the thing.
She is fast when doing the thing, but what she is doing is not just speed.
Right.
Like it's yeah. So
it's exciting. It's exciting.
Indeed.
Tyrion has now killed our protester buddy.
I mean, he might not have killed him.
I think his name was Forrest. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. But
I mean, he could have been like, I'm going to get some information out of you before I kill you. Maybe.
But my question is what is Tyrion doing? Is he sowing chaos? Is he recruiting people? Like, if I assume he's not recruiting people.
Daddy needs to express some rage.
I think what he's doing, if anything, is he's just blowing off steam, right?
Yep.
Now he wants to upset things and what have you.
But
okay, you kill a civilian.
Killing the Forrest, the annoying protester that throws bricks at Atlas vehicles, that's not gonna do much. Like in many ways, it's funny because he's there with Watts, and they're just antithetical to each other, right? Because Watts is all about like doing all this crazy stuff, right? Whereas Tyrion, he's a great fighter.
No, he's just crazy.
But he's just crazy, and it's like, what is he doing here? Potentially, literally, like nothing, right?
Well, for now,
yes. But there could be more to this. Who knows?
Who knows? We have Pietro Polendina being the one that actually makes the upgrades and stuff.
Yep.
But he also teased that there were things with their fighting styles based on studying the Vital festival tournament and all that.
Did you almost say Vital Knowledge?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. I was thinking that too.
Yeah. Because of that, he's got some input that he wants to save for later. What do you think that is?
So
because
I don't know. That could be just basically them giving a bit of foreshadowing for there will continue to be upgrades, and we're saying it now because it makes sense to say that is a thing that's going to happen now, since it's going to be the same people making them. So it's not that they're just suddenly changing their minds or being like, oh, this would be even better. They're like, I got some ideas. Let's work through it or whatever. As for what specifically, I don't know.
You got some ideas? I have an idea.
Yeah.
So when you look at the way they fight and what have you, they're just using their weapons and their semblances, right?
Yep.
So it's something where they upgraded the weapons and their armaments in the base level there. How do you interact with the semblance, though?
I mean, you make items that are more suited to that semblance.
But we've seen multiple times in RWBY items that are specifically not connected to semblances, but items that are like basically the equivalent of magic items, where they are attuned in some ways to the aura of the person. Therefore, the semblance works with them in ways that are ridiculously cool, to the point where people were confused for like 5 volumes how Adam's powers worked. I'm sorry, I'm shouting at the dumber parts of the fandom, but anyway. Also, we can finally get our true wish. Yes.
The thing that always needed to happen.
Yes.
Ever since they introduced
drills.
Weapons. No.
Okay.
No.
Magnets.
Car batteries in a backpack on Nora.
Oh my god.
Like, it's literally one of those things where it's like, why haven't they done this yet?
Why haven't we been just shocking Nora.
Yeah, exactly.
Level.
She just needs to have a taser that she's just like.
She's constantly flexing all the muscles because she's getting a shock every like 0.5 seconds.
Right. Like, heck, they wouldn't even need land-based vehicles at that point. Just hook up the battery to Nora. She can carry the vehicle for them.
Okay. Yes. Definitely.
I mean, I'm just saying, maybe it's too silly or it's too busted if they just say that she has that all the time, which is probably what it is. But that's like one of those things that I would love to see.
The other one is something that is more based on something that you would find very interesting in
armor.
Well, no, but close.
Sniper.
What did Harriet have in this episode?
Oh, cybernetic upgrades.
Cybernetic enhancements.
Yeah.
What if it's not about armor, but it's about or like with Yang's cybernetic arm, it's about like actually enhancing certain things there with regards to the items being more connected. To them,
and then
via cybernetic enhancements,
and they can have it theoretically be for the whole body at that point, and then it might be a bit too complicated, so they can make AI that will help run the suits for them. Hold on a second, this sounds familiar.
Well, I'm just thinking about
taken to the extreme.
I've constantly been wondering when this show is going to go full Gurren Lagann, because that was the. That was a lot of the inspiration with Monty being his favorite show. And in a lot of ways, this hinting, foreshadowing with Ruby's semblance is one of the things where I go, oh, right. Because if you think about Ruby's semblance, in some ways you could say that she is transforming herself into rose petals. Mm-hmm. But I think they're definitely going to bring up the fact that this is more of a... This is not a thing of where it's just something obvious where we're looking at it here, but it's something also a little bit ridiculous involved with it as well. Not some star platinum super speed is actually, this. It's where she is slightly folding space. She is able to manipulate her form in some kind of pocket dimension where she shifts out of reality.
Yeah, and she just whatever, right? Because she, when she's going all super fast, I don't know if have we seen her actually take damage while she's traveling in that way?
No.
I don't think we have.
No. It's only like once she transforms
stops,
out of it.
Right. Which might be something where if she runs into something, then she's forced to stop. And then
we've seen her run into things like that, and she's literally split into multiple projectiles, or she's just turned into the roses and then reformed around and kept going.
It's some crazy stuff.
It's just some crazy stuff, yeah. And I would love to see semblance evolution.
Yes,
at
definitely.
some point.
Definitely.
Because that's another thing that's been teased in the future. And it's the way that we power up our protagonists in order to be able to face stronger challenges as they constantly escalate the types of dangers that they deal with in classic RPG fashion.
Also, we got to point out that Blake repaired her blade with a little bit of gold.
A little bit of gold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We had some bees. We had some bees in a moment where Yang acknowledged the bob cut, which is the.
I mean, it's a great cut.
It's a great cut. Yes.
Like as far as hair differences, I would say, well, okay, hair differences. Yang's hair doesn't change because her hair is perfect the way it is.
You don't touch her hair.
You don't touch her hair.
Yep.
Weiss's hair is probably the only thing that I'm not a fan of from her design change, because her design change in general is my favorite, other than just how her hair gets so Rapunzel big. But
or like Elsa specific.
Right. Yeah.
Great.
And Ruby's hair is great. I love the new look for Ruby's hair.
I agree.
Awesome. Yeah. Blake's hair, I'm a big fan of, because I feel like in RWBY there were too many characters that just had really long hair. Like just they all have long hair. Oh, except for Ruby.
Well, Nora.
Oh yeah, Nora. That's true. Yeah. And Penny.
And Nora's been like your favorite female character in the show. Like until Weiss just became like.
It was mainly like once I listened to the song "Boop" and watched the Uptown Funk AMV. But yeah. All the stuff we got with the characters this episode was just really good.
Yeah. And we've got a lot to look forward to. We've got our crew in the Aesops here, and we are taking things on a more kind of slow, systematic approach with regards to the story progressing towards the building of the new vital Amity Arena kind of thing.
Right, satellite.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that we haven't gotten much from the villains so far. Because one of the things, I'm only kind of realizing it now, but in like the previous volumes, they made sure that like every couple episodes at least, they gave us a status update on the villains. The thing is that, one, because the villains are so spread out, they have only been doing that for like Watts and Tyrion, right? Totally get it, because they're in the same area.
Yeah, they did it a little bit for Emerald and Mercury.
Right. But the thing is that now that I think about it, that basically sets this idea in my mind, pacing wise, that this is going to be a short story.
Oh,
right.
Sure.
That this story here is going to be short, whether, with wherever location we're at or whatever, right? Whereas since they're going to be in Atlas for a while, they can now take the time with the villains. They don't need to update us on the villains all the time, because they're the villains. They're not the protagonists of this story. Right. And I really appreciate that. And I didn't realize how big of an effect that could have until, we've now seen it here. So.
Yeah. So there we go, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next one, I would say probably within about 24 hours of when this one gets posted up onto YouTube Public and what have you there, we're going to put up a timer-based version of this so you can sync it up with your Rooster Teeth First service there. Be sure to support the creators here. They're awesome, and they put out amazing stuff.
Amazing content.
So be sure to do that. But links to that are in the description below for our Patreon. Any level of support gets you access to our Discord also, where you can be a part of the community where we chat about not just RWBY specifically, but anime in general, stories in general. Also specifically like the book that Jacob wrote recently.
Yes, that's right.
Really awesome.
My story. It's a sci-fi novel called Battle Lines. It's amazing. It's available in hardcover and ebook on Amazon. Links in the description. Go check it out.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.